This is Jim Nailon, liturgical guitarist. I'm going to share my arrangement of the hymn, Creator of the Stars of Night. And this was taken from, the melody comes from chant, 9th century. And it's important to remember that and not be too hung up on playing it in a strict rhythm. So that's a pretty meditative piece, and it definitely doesn't work if you play it with a metronome. It doesn't work as well anyway. So the first part, there's 4 variations. The first one, the only thing you have to worry about is damping the other strings. If you don't, it's going to sound like... hitting all these other harmonics on the other string and setting off a sympathetic vibration. And unless you want to view that as maybe the harmony of the music of the spheres as you're playing this song, I mean, for some people they don't mind, and I usually don't mind too much. But to get it really clean, you need to. What I do, I will. It's easier if you don't have a thumb pick to damp these all 3 bass strings with your thumb here on the right hand. And then the important thing is when you're playing, let's see if I don't know if I can, when you're playing the, notice how now my second finger is going to come down and damp the 2nd string right when I play the 3rd string, and my 3rd string finger is going to damp that string right as I play the 2nd string. So if you can that'll give a real cleanliness between your playing on the 2nd and 3rd strings, which are the only strings you need to play at. The only other thing you have to worry about is deadening the other strings, and I do that with my thumb, and I even bring my thumb on my right hand for the 5th and 4th strings. My first finger's resting on the third string, and I bring my left hand thumb around and just touch the sixth string so it doesn't vibrate. Okay, so that was real easy. The second part, the only hard part is, challenging is the first maybe 4 measures. If you get through that, you're home free. And so you have to, you're on the C chord, and I kind of, as you play the open E, I bring my first and second fingers around so that they're in position to go down to this little position, with the first finger on the second fret of the fourth string, third finger on the third fret of the first string. You might as well get that down, because you're going to need it on the third variation too. And you want to get it fairly legato and fairly quick. And then here you're sliding up. Your first finger is going to go up to the third string, and your third finger here is going to replace your little finger, so that you, on the first string, so your little finger is free to play the next melody note down here on the second string, 6th fret. And then you slide back down into this E minor. If you get that down, the rest of it's easy. Because then you're just playing. Here's a nice little dissonance right here. But you shouldn't have any trouble with the rest of that. Then the top of page 2, variation 3. Same thing, but you're playing more notes here. You're playing a couple of extra open strings. So, and then here, instead of, you just jump up your first and second fingers. First finger on the 5th fret of the first string, second finger on the 6th fret of the second string. And you're playing thirds here on this D minor position. And as you play the first third, as you put your third finger down, lift off your first finger, so you're not ringing that other third down. In other words, they're both in there. It's better that way. And then you slide on your third finger down to the barred C. So, and then I let this third here with these fingers, I let that ring just for a moment when I put my little finger, or my first finger down on the third fret of the first string, to slide back up, play that, and then back into the C. And then here you're going to slide down on your fourth finger and get this fourth finger, and then your first finger on the first fret of the first string and the open D string. And then a C chord, but with the E in the bass on the fourth string. And then here you got to get your third and fourth fingers down there to the G chord. The third finger's on the third fret of the second string, fourth finger's on the fourth fret of the third string. And you're playing the open D bass, and then to a C. So it gives you a nice bass run in there. And then going on measure 41, leaves your little finger there, put your first and third fingers down on the D minor, and then just your little finger comes down again. And then C, D minor. This is pretty straightforward. Then the A minor. And then you get the C chord. And you play the D minor over the C bass. Slide that up to an E minor over a D bass. Slide back down to the D minor. And then back to the C. And then this little chord here is you kind of crowd your fingers in. It's a D minor chord actually, but I've got my third. So I'm holding this finger on the C bass, and I have to tuck my second finger on the third fret of the fourth string, so you kind of have to cram it and tuck it in there as close as you can. I can't get a good angle on the camera here of it, but you can see it's right there, and I put that down. And then my first finger on the second fret of the third string and little finger on the third fret of the second string. And then back to the C. And my absolute favorite part of this arrangement is the fourth variation. And this one, you just have to kind of think of playing it like Starlight. I think that's the key. It has to just kind of fall down like stars twinkling. There's nothing technically hard about it. You're just playing broken chords. There's no real secrets to that other than trying to play it as legato. So make that shift really fast from, because you want that note, you don't want that breaking. Here you have it again. Kind of like at that would be measure what, 49, 50, 1, 2, 3, about 54. I kind of think of that as sort of a cascading down, so it kind of speeds up. So slow back down, speed up, slow down to the hold, speed up, and then anyway, play with that. You know, it's got a lot of room for your emotion to come out there and make something of that. So have fun with it. You don't have to play it like I do. I'm sure there's a lot of ways to interpret that artistically. But I think it sounds better with some feeling rather than just So, not that, now I spent years practicing with metronomes back when I was studying, getting my degree in classical guitar, like from about 75, 76 through 80. I would practice with metronomes all the time, and I think that's why I have some sense of rhythm. But then you have to learn how to break the rules too. And I'm not an expert at that, but that's how I feel it on this piece. So that's all I have for you. Look for more arrangements on liturgicalguitarist.com. I pray God blesses your playing, and I wish you peace.